CWM 95.6.
Well, I mean, what is there to talk about? But, any ideas? 03453 009956. We'll discuss more after the news. Here's Chris.
Thank you very much, Iain. David Cameron has declared his intention to govern Britain for the next 5 years in the interests of all its people after the Conservatives won an outright majority of seats in the Commons. In line with protocol, Mr Cameron went to Buckingham Palace to talk to the Queen, then spoke in Downing Street. He described the party's manifesto as a programme for working people. Mr Cameron said he would try to create opportunities for everyone and govern with respect in order to bring together the different nations of the UK.
I've just been to see Her Majesty the Queen, and I will now form a majority Conservative government. I've been proud to lead the first coalition government in 70 years. It laid the foundations for a better future, and now we must build on them.
Well, Mr Cameron paid tribute to Nick Clegg and the Liberal Democrats for their work in the coalition government. The Lib Dems lost 47 seats, including Solihull and Yardley. They kept just 8. Nick Clegg resigned as leader this morning. He thanked his colleagues and said it was heartbreaking to see so many of them lose their seats.
Clearly the results have been immeasurably more crushing and unkind than I could ever have feared. For that, of course, I must take responsibility, and therefore I announce that I will be resigning as leader of the Liberal Democrats.
Ed Miliband has also resigned after Labour lost all but one of their seats in Scotland, ending up with 232 MPs. UKIP took 13% of all the votes cast, but they won just one seat. Their leader, Nigel Farage, has resigned as well, but left open the possibility that he'd return if asked. The SNP won less than 5% of the votes cast across the UK, but they ended up with 56 seats, all but 3 of the seats on offer in Scotland. Their leader, Nicola Sturgeon, said Labour couldn't blame her party for their defeat.
The SNP fought a campaign in Scotland, and the people of Scotland have put their trust in us. It was Labour's job to beat the Conservatives in England, and Labour hasn't come close to doing that. Even if Labour had won all of the seats that they held in Scotland, they still wouldn't have beaten the Conservatives. We had the Shadow Chancellor losing his seat, Labour failing to take the seats that they had to do.
Well, Ed Miliband and Nick Clegg have got one last duty as political leaders to perform. They'll join Mr Cameron at the Cenotaph in Whitehall when the Queen leads the nation at a ceremony marking the end of the Second World War in Europe. 70 years ago, the Nazi High Command surrendered unconditionally in France and in Germany to the Allies. And there'll be 2-minute silence to mark the 70th anniversary of VE Day in an hour here on BBC WM. And don't forget, we'll also find out the results of your local council election this afternoon. We'll have reporters out and about bringing you the news about where you live. And the weather, it's going to turn increasingly wet this afternoon, with the rain turning heavy and persistent at times. Windy as well, with highs of 15 Celsius, 59 Fahrenheit. It'll remain cloudy with further patchy light rain or drizzle tonight. Lows of 8 Celsius, 46 Fahrenheit. Tomorrow, a cloudy day with showers or longer spells of rain. Only 1 or 2 bright spells on Saturday with highs of 15 Celsius, 59 Fahrenheit. And Sunday will be a largely dry and fine day with some sunshine. And that's your news for the West Midlands. It's 3 minutes past 2.
Friday afternoons with Iain Lee
on BBC WM 95.6.
Your voice in the West Midlands.
I resign. Why not everybody else is resigning? Things got so confusing that David Cameron resigned, then realised that he'd won and he had to unresign. Imagine that. Wow. If I resigned every time I had a bad day at work, I'd have resigned 362 times. You'd love it, wouldn't you? Wouldn't it be great if, obviously those guys, they had to resign. But if they went, no, I'm sticking around. No, you have Nick. No, I'm going nowhere. Nick, seriously. No, I'm hanging around. It is cool, though. If you're going to resign, do it in front of a press conference. That's the way to do it. Don't do an email or a letter of resignation. Get a podium and stand up. Make a speech. That's the way to do it. Afternoon, Iain Lee, BBC WM 95.6. It's It's one of them weird shows, isn't it? Normal service will resume in September the 4th, I think, updates as and when they happen throughout the afternoon. We've got 2 minutes silence for VE Day later on. What's the weather like? Is it still drizzling out there? Because I was over at the why am I struggling to speak? The VE Day celebrations outside the library. And they had, it looked good. They had an aeroplane, which I'm going to say was a Spitfire. I don't... Yeah, it was a Spitfire. Why not? Why not? And it was cool. There were loads of... if anybody's there or been there and wants to give me a call to tell me exactly what's going on, 03453 009956. It looked good. But there were loads of what looked like Hell's Angels there. Did the Hell's Angels, did they have a troop? Did a battalion? Did they serve? There was also lots of those kind of 1940s singers. You know, kind of like three girls with hair in nets singing about the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy. That kind of... That put me off a little bit. That kind of music never did it for me, but... So we'll have that. Oh, and just whatever else pops up, you know, just whatever happens. We're going to go with the vibe. We're going to go with the vibe. If you want to call up at any point, let's try not to get too political, guys. We'll have the updates as and when, but let's not. Do we really want to spend the next 2 hours deconstructing what happened? I don't think. I tell you what, I want to spend the next 2 hours deconstructing. It's what the hell is going on with Zayn and Louis from One Direction. Guys, please sort it out. You talk about politics at war. Former friends at war. Ever fallen out with a friend? 03453 009956. Now, I'm not a One Direction fan. I'm a 41-year-old heterosexual male. But I heard a song the other day, and it turns out I know what a One Direction song is. It's literally just gone from my mind. It's about, it doesn't matter. Turns out I'd heard a One Direction song and I hadn't known it was One Direction that whole time. And it was all right. You know, it wasn't brilliant. It was all right. It was no Tonight by the Backstreet Boys, but it was a good, solid record. What's going on with those guys, he said, addressing the target audience of 55-plus women. Distressed Zayn Malik. That's the multi-millionaire Zayn Malik who's got a hot pop star girlfriend, yeah? That distressed guy. OK. Distressed Zayn Malik pleaded with fans to stop abusing him online. Get used to it, dude. How old are kids now? Yeah, there's a generation growing up that's only ever been bullied online. They've never been bullied in the playground. They've never had a wedgie. Imagine that. There are kids walking around without their underpants up their bum. They've never had a wedgie. Is there an emoticon for a wedgie? If there isn't, get on it, boffins. Or a dead arm. What's the emoticon for a dead arm? What's the emoticon for throwing someone's PE kit all across the playground? There isn't one. There isn't one. Kids these days have got it easy. I don't know they're born. Imagine a kid not knowing they're born. Do any of us know we're born? Heavy, man. 03453 009956. Distressed Zayn Malik pleaded with fans to stop abusing him online following his spat with his old One Direction bandmate Louis Tomlinson. Now, One Direction, they may be brilliant. I don't know. we've got lots of mums listening who are fans of One Direction. We've worked backwards with our kids. We have forced them, we have encouraged them to like our music. So my boys know all the words to the Monkees and the Beach Boys. They can tell the difference between the Turtles and the Beatles. And they also know my wife's rubbish music as well. But quite often, mums, and I think it's mums, they like their kids' music, don't they? They like the kids' music because it's like makes them feel young and it reminds them of David Essex and the Bay City Rollers. The Star has faced a tirade of criticism over the Twitter war of words, but insisted he's done nothing wrong. You left the group, Zayn, and you broke everybody's flipping heart. It's funny, isn't it? You've got Zayn and Louis, and I don't know which one's which, arguing on Twitter. You had recently, who are those two obnoxious plums? Clarkson and Morgan, Piers Morgan and Jeremy Clarkson, arguing on Twitter. If we'd have had Cameron Clegg and Miliband arguing on Twitter, I mean, it just wouldn't it? If they wanted, because they were all slagging each other off, and it was great, and Cameron was holding on to that letter. But if they wanted to get the young on the, and Ed Miliband went and hung out with Russell Brand to get, the youth vote, if they wanted the youth vote, they should have just done a hashtag, I don't know, slagging off other MPs. They should have just had a Twitter spat. That would have got the kids involved. We'll play a One Direction song in a minute, don't worry. Zayn tweeted yesterday, "Don't know why I'm being attacked for defending myself. People got it twisted. I love my fans, every single one of you. I've never heard any of them speak. I don't know what they sound like. I'm guessing that's what they sound like." It comes a day after the singer, 22. He's 22 years old. He's a baby. When I was 22 years old, what was I doing? Actually, probably some of the similar things that Zayn was doing. I don't really remember. Oh, I know. I was signing on and watching The Time, the Place with John Stapleton. What was The Time, the Place with John Stapleton? Well, it was like an old-fashioned version of Jeremy Kyle, but without so many common people on. It was like Jeremy Kyle, but with teeth. I mean literal teeth. I don't mean political teeth. It comes a day after the singer, 22, blasted Louis for mocking a picture posted online by producer, and here we go, Naughty Boy. I'm going to become a music producer. Oh, yeah. What name are you going to use? Your real name's Shahid Khan. What name are you going to use? I was thinking of Naughty Boy. Sorry? I was thinking of calling myself, of dropping Shahid Khan and becoming Naughty. Naughty Boy? Yeah. You're 30? Yeah. Okay, you might as well just call yourself, I don't know, Skidmark. You know what I mean? You might as well just call yourself something really dumb. Well, he did, Naughty Boy. He's working with Zayn on solo material. So the guy that quit the band because he wanted a normal life is working on solo material with a 30-year-old called Naughty Boy. By the way, all of this is building up to me playing a One Direction song. And also your stories of when you've fallen out spectacularly with a friend. 03453 009956. Zayn, and then they just go on and they have some of the arguments. But, I mean, they're really rubbish. Zayn tweeted his former colleague, "Remember when you had a life and stopped making bitchy comments about mine?" I think he's still in One Direction. He's still got a life. Naughty Boy. I mean, Naughty Boy? Naughty Boy. It's just Naughty Boy.
Who?
Naughty Boy. I think you may know him better as Shahid Khan. Then posted, "And some people can't even sing, but who's complaining when there's auto-tune, eh?" I mean, really, guys? Just for goodness sakes, we all know, because we all know how pop bands work, okay? One Direction will last another 18 months. They'll all split up. Harry Styles will have a vaguely successful career. He'll have 2 albums. The first one will do really well. The second one, not so well. He'll go into TV presentation. In 10 years' time, they'll all get back together. And when they do, hopefully they'll play this, their biggest hit.
Just because we get around. Talking about my generation. Things they do look awful. Talking about my generation. I hope I die before I get old. Talking about my generation. This is my generation, baby. Why don't you all fade away? Don't try and dig what we all say. My generation. Trying to cause a big sensation. I'm just talking about my generation. My generation. This is my generation, baby. You all fade away. Don't try to dig what we all say. I'm trying to cause a big sensation. Just talking about my generation. This is my generation. This is my generation, baby. My generation. Try to put us to down. My generation. Just because we get around. My generation. Things they do look awful cold. My generation. I hope I die before I get old. My generation. My generation, baby. My generation.
Yep. Now, on the subject of inventions that are pointless but wonderful, I tell you what's pointless but wonderful, although I've gone off it, right? Partly because it's destroying the planet. That's not the reason I went off it. I went off it because it's too expensive to run, right? And have a look around your house. You will have loads of pointless inventions, right? That at the time you thought, how did I ever live without that? In the 70s, okay, the most pointless inventions were, we had one and my mum used it once. The electric carving knife. Do you remember the electric carving knife? Because that carving manoeuvre is so difficult. Who was that for? The electric carving knife and the hostess trolley. We had a hostess trolley, and I do not remember, if my sister's listening, which she often does, she can remind me if I'm wrong, I do not remember the hostess trolley ever being used. Because a hostess trolley is only useful if you live in a mansion, and your kitchen's in the east wing, and the dining room's in the west wing. We lived in a council house in Slough. We had a serving hatch put in the wall by my dad. You didn't need a hostess. What it was like this sort of portable cooker, right, with a wood effect. And you would put your food in and it would keep it warm on the journey from the kitchen to the table. And they went for a fortune, I think. They were always giving them away on Bullseye and 3-2-1. They went for an absolute fortune. Like, they were a couple of £100, weren't they? Which in the 70s, you could buy a house and still have change for a bag of chips. 03453 00 9956. Useless inventions around the house. But why? Why am I talking about that? Because somebody has made something that is useless and is expensive. But do you know what? I'm probably going to buy this. The hovering light bulb. Yeah, that's right.
This Saturday.
Referee blows his whistle. Is it going to be Gardner or Brunt? De Gea crouched just ahead of his goal line. It's Chris Brunt to fire it in!
Live FM commentary of West Bromwich Albion.
You know, the lads were very resilient, really organised. We've worked very hard this week.
Join BBC WM for all the breaking team news and live action.
Saturday from 2 on BBC WM 95.6.
I will tell you more about the hovering light bulb, dear listeners. But before that, I think we're going to go to Steve Herman. Hello, Steve.
Hello, Ian.
Steve, you're at Wolverton, the Wolverhampton City Council. What's going on?
What's been going on is plenty of... The returning officer, Keith, is going to have a lie down. Keith Island, that's his last name. It's been a long day, Ian. But yeah, he's going to have a lie down because he's been rattling through the counts, and we have finished here. And it's finished, do it in a football-style score, but Labour 16, Conservative 4. We had 20 seats up for grabs, and Labour have made 2 gains in the St Peter's and Springvale wards, but they've held on to Wensfield South, to Oxley, to Bushbury North. They've also held on to Wensfield North, the Park ward. There's a new councillor there in Michael Owen Hardacre. Held on to Graiseley, to Heathtown, where UKIP finished second. They also held on to the Bilston North ward, and it's welcome Kusakama, who's the new councillor for Labour there. Also held on to East Park, to Ettingshaw, to Bushbury South and Low Hill, to Bilston East, to Blakenall. They gained Springvale off the Lib Dems. That was Mike Heap, who was the retiring mayor. He stood down, he was retiring, and Tom Stokes finished second for the Lib Dems in there. But that was a gain for Labour, and they held on to Fallings Park. As for the Conservatives, their 4 holds were Tetnall Whittick, and that was the Tory party, the group leader in Wolverhampton, Wendy Thompson, who held on to that. They also held on to Tetnall Regis, so a good result in that part of the constituency. Also held on to Merry Hill and to Penn. At one point it looked like Labour were rattling away with it because they had won 12 in a row at one point, but 16 they have won out of 20, and Conservatives holding on to 4. I can tell you Liberal Democrats did not perform well at all. Some of their votes were into the hundreds and 200 marks. UKIP as well didn't perform as well as they did in the last local election. They had plenty of second place finishes last time, only a couple this time, and a few fourth place finishes to go through across the wards across Wolverhampton, but no major surprise here. While nationally it's been a horrible day for Labour, it's been a very good one for them in Wolverhampton. I can see Emma Reynolds and Pat McFadden and Rob Marris, the 3 Labour MPs, 2 of them who held on to their seats last night. Rob Marris was the one who gained off the Conservatives in Wolverhampton South West. They're here with smiles on their faces because Labour has done very, very well in Wolverhampton, Ian.
Steve, nice one. Thank you very much for that indeed. Steve Herman, the Wolverhampton City Council election. My sister has just tweeted me, thank you, Joe, in regards to the hostess trolley. She says, no, we didn't use it. Wasn't it just mainly used for keeping stuff on top of? Yeah, I think that was it. Good afternoon, Martin.
How you doing, Ian? You all right, mate?
I'm all right. Do you know I'm not all right, Martin? I've got beef.
Why? What's the matter?
I had 2 sandwiches too quickly, and my coffee was too big, and now I've got indigestion, and it's kind of, I can't do the show properly, Martin. I've got indigestion.
No, you'll be all right. We'll support you. Who did you vote for?
Well,
Well, you're not allowed, are you?
Hey, whoa.
Go on.
Well, no, I am allowed, but do you know what? I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't think it's necessarily the time or the place when I'm talking about floating light bulbs.
I know. All right, but at least we're getting a result.
Yes.
And by the way,
at least we're getting a result. Yes.
Yeah, Ian. I was going to say something to you. Did you know Ranjit was on earlier? He was flipping Danny Kelly, weren't he?
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
You heard about that? Now, see what he's trying to do. He's trying to take your seat.
What?
Another one.
I'm not resigning. I'm not doing a Clegg Farage Miliband. I'm not resigning. Am I? Am I resigning? Not yet. No, I'm not resigning yet. I mean, it's still always an option. It's always an option.
Well, you know
Martin.
what? You know, the thing is now, I've kind of like, when I found out he was a Labour supporter, I've gone off him now. The fan club's gone downhill.
Martin, have you left the Ranjit fan club? Good, about time. Listen to this, Martin.
Oh, it's gone. No, I've dissolved it. It's completely dissolved.
Hey, listen,
Yeah.
talking about the election.
Go on,
I was
carry on.
listening to a brilliant programme on Radio 4 yesterday, and they were talking about some of the... Because what building did you have to go and vote in?
What building?
What kind of building? Was it a school? Was it a church hall?
Yeah, it was a school, yeah.
Right. I don't know what my building was, right? It was next to an allotment, so I think it was like maybe the management hall of the allotment. But
you probably live in the sticks then, don't you?
I probably do live in the sticks, yes. But this programme on Radio 4, right, there was one polling place was in a restaurant. So people were like going in for lunch and then voting.
You're joking.
One in this tiny village, and I don't know where it was in the country. If anyone heard this, maybe you'll know. It was let me put this into a sentence. It was in someone's house.
You're gonna come over then, yeah.
It was in somebody's house. And what would happen was that the wife had pushed all the furniture back in the living room, and then they had a polling booth in the living room because it was such a tiny little village, and they've done it for years. And there was a place in Milton Keynes yesterday where they were voting, right?
Where the hell is that?
Sorry?
Where the hell is Milton Keynes?
It's in the future and in the past simultaneously.
Oh, right, yeah, there you go.
And they'd locked themselves out of the hall. It was like I think it was a church hall, right?
Yeah.
They'd locked themselves out of the hall. This is brilliant. So what they did was in the back of a people carrier, they kind of hung a curtain over the back of the people carrier, and you had to go into the back of the car to cast the vote.
Well, that happens around here as well, you know, where they're ushered in, where people that don't actually want to vote for, you know, who they want to vote for, but are forced to make a vote.
Well, no,
so
hang on. No one's
well.
forced to make a vote. But what parties do? They did this with my mum once, I think. Is like
I think you know what I'm talking about.
No, but elderly or disabled people, quite often someone will go around and say, look, I'm from such and such a party. Are you going to vote? Yes. Well, listen, it's obviously you're going to have difficulty guessing there. What we're going to do is we're going to organise a minibus to pick you up and take you to vote for the thing.
Take you out.
And my mum got taken, or maybe it was someone in my family got taken by the Labour Party to go and vote.
Ian, before you lose it, can I speak to you for a couple of minutes?
Martin, I'm telling a story, mate.
I know you are, but, you know, I need to ask you something. Once you finish this, you know, I've got to tell you to you. Right?
Martin, I'm telling a story, mate.
All right, Ian, I'm sorry, mate. Carry on.
I'm telling a flipping story. You can't... I'm just getting to the end. Admittedly, it's not a very strong finish. Very rarely do I have a strong finish, and that's a problem I'm dealing with in therapy.
You're all right.
Will you shut up?
Just calm down.
Martin, will you shut up?
All right.
So it was Labour. They took, let's say, it was my nan. She went, she voted Tory.
Right.
That's the end. It's not a particularly strong story, Martin, but because you banged on for so much...
Yeah, well,
Haven't got time now.
Your travel news in the West Midlands.
BBC WM 95.6.
Let's get the latest travel.
On the southbound side of the M6, there's slow-moving traffic from junction 10A at the M54 towards junction 8 for the M5 because of roadworks. The northbound side of the M5 is also very slow from junction 1 at West Brom towards the M6 on the northbound side. The A449 at Penkridge is really congested through the roadworks between the Gailey Island heading towards Bungham Lane. If you can update us, call BBC WM 95.6 travel on 0330 123 3550.
On FM.
Freeview, digital radio,
and online.
Your voice in the West Midlands.
BBC WM 95.6.
Oh, you can't. You can't interrupt someone as... Yes, it was a weak payoff, but it was the end of a story. You can't... But Rob's about to do the news. Imagine he's getting to the denouement, the and finally go, yeah, but Rob, before you do that... 03453 009956. I'd never dream of it, Rod. Let's have the news, please.
Thanks, Ian. No interruptions, please. Good afternoon. The general election has delivered a surprise result, with the Conservative Party of Prime Minister David Cameron winning an overall majority in Parliament. Mr Cameron has met the Queen and been invited to form a new government. He said he would govern Britain for the next 5 years in the interests of all of its people. The leader of the Labour Party, Ed Miliband, has congratulated Mr Cameron on his victory. He said he was resigning. The West Bromwich East MP Tom Watson says he'll consider standing for deputy leader as Harriet Harman is also stepping down. The Deputy Prime Minister in the outgoing coalition government, Nick Clegg, has also resigned after his Liberal Democrat Party lost all but a handful of seats. The Conservatives apart, where the big winners of the poll were the pro-independent Scottish National Party. They swept a victory in all but 3 seats north of the border. The UK Independence Party and the Green Party took only a single seat each. The UKIP leader Nigel Farage failed in his bid to win a seat. He's resigned as well. And Ed Miliband and Nick Clegg have one last duty as political leaders to perform. They'll join Mr Cameron at the Cenotaph in Whitehall as the Queen leads the nation at a ceremony marking the end of the Second World War in Europe. We'll also find out the results of your local council elections this afternoon. Already hearing that Labour have held Wolverhampton with a gain of 2 seats. We've got reporters out and about bringing you the results where you live. And the weather getting wetter and windier as the afternoon goes on. Highs of 15 Celsius, 59 Fahrenheit. Cloudy with further patchy rain or light drizzle overnight. Lows of 8 Celsius, 46 Fahrenheit. And Saturday, rather cloudy with showers or longer spells of rain at times. That's your news for the West Midlands. It's 2:32.
What happened there, Rob? Did someone come in and tickle you? You got a little bit of the gig. Have you been up all night as well, or are you just insane?
No, I have. I've been up for many hours.
How many is many? Come on, let's see, because there are people listening with real jobs. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, since roughly yesterday morning.
That's
about 11ish.
Tough guy, huh? When are you going to go? You might as well do the whole weekend now, Rob.
You know, now if I'm really honest, I have sneaked an hour or so sleep this morning.
Get out of here, lightweights! Unbelievable.
On FM, Freeview, digital radio, and online.
BBC WM 95.6.
03453 009956. If you did vote somewhere odd, do let us know. In the back of a car. People were voting in the back of a car because they'd locked themselves. Here we go. Thank you. Wherever you voted that was odd, we won't get many takers on that. The reason they were voting in the back of a car was because they'd lost their keys. When have you lost your keys? Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you. 03453 009956. Chris is on the line. Good afternoon, Chris.
No, you're in. You're right, mate.
I'm all right, fella. What you got for us?
You talking about them serving hatches?
Yes, in the 1970s, people were too lazy to walk from the kitchen to the laughingly called the dining room, the back end of the living room. Yeah, the back end of the living room. So my dad and many other dads knocked a hole in the wall and called it a serving hatch.
Snap.
Did you have one as well?
Yeah, our man built one, but it was a bit wonky.
Of course it was a bit wonky. Your dad did it.
It wasn't exactly straight, yeah, the old man did it.
And did he just go at the wall with a hammer one day?
Yeah, he measured it out, decided to take some cabinets off the wall, and he marked it all out, bolted the chisel, walled it all through, put a bit of cement in, slapped a couple of planks of wood on the sides as make, the frame.
Yeah.
stuck a couple of doors on, but it was slightly wonky. But the best part about it, if you were sitting at the dining table, say on a Sunday, waiting for your Sunday dinner,
Yeah.
and you were sitting behind, well, you had the serving hatch behind you.
Yeah.
As soon as your mum flung that open, your head nearly got decapitated. It used to smack you on the head, and our man used to say to us, right, you sit there. You say, I don't want to sit here, Dad. No, you sit there. Oh, I sat here last week. No, you're sitting there. And guess who Muggins was? Who always had to sit behind it.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah,
you
that
are
was
the
me.
man you are now. Was it that kind of dark wood, really varnished, so it was very shiny, with gold circular handles on?
Yep, you got it.
Yeah, I know. Hey, listen, I remember the 1970s. And did he put a little? Because my dad was dead clever. We had the doors, I think, and he also had like the little platform, so you could leave stuff on there.
No, because he went straight the way through onto the kitchen worktop.
Oh, it went onto the worktop.
Yeah, he went straight onto the worktop, straight through into the kitchen onto the worktop.
Here's the question that I'm going to throw out, Chris, and maybe this has happened to you. I don't know. I doubt it, but there'll be someone listening who's done this. Has anyone? You know what a dumb waiter is, don't you, Chris?
Yeah.
Has anyone sat in a dumb waiter while their mates have either sent them up or sent them down? 03453.
I've never done that.
009956. You've wanted to, though, haven't you?
I'd love to have done that. That'd been great. Jumping out on somebody.
Chris, good call. Thank you very much indeed. Ever been in a dumb waiter and your friends have taken you up or taken you down? Kimberly's in Great Bar. Afternoon, Kimberly.
Good afternoon.
Have you ever been in a dumb waiter?
No, I haven't.
Oh, man, someone listening now is going, hey, that's me. Do you remember when we did that?
What's a dumb waiter?
Sorry?
A dumb waiter?
It's those guys that don't serve me quick enough in the restaurant. A dumb waiter...
Oh, sorry.
No,
Yeah.
no. A dumb waiter, like in the olden days in posh houses, right, or hotels, it's they'll have the restaurant down in the basement and
right.
Hello. It's a lift for food, basically.
Okay.
That's operated by rope.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're on about serving hatches?
Yes, I am. It's the serving hatch special.
I used to love our serving hatch.
Oh, yeah.
We've had it filled in now, but we used to queue. It was like queuing up for school dinners.
Why did you get your serving hatch filled in, Kim?
Because we had the downstairs done out, and my mum had the walls filled in.
She got ideas above her station, did she?
Yeah, but I used to like waiting for my dinner through the hatch.
Yeah, it was something special, wasn't it? It was
yeah.
Maybe, and I don't know actually, any mums that had to serve food through the serving hatch in the 70s, maybe it made them feel like they were doing the school dinners or something.
Yeah.
It might have been a bit demeaning to them.
My mum doesn't cook anyway, so...
Oh, well...
My dad does all the cooking.
Oh, so your dad was passing it through, was he?
Yeah.
Here's what you don't get anymore. My mum, whenever she was cooking, and my dad, when he cooked a bit, whenever she was cooking, would always wear an apron.
No, my mum doesn't wear a pinny, no.
Well, no one wears an apron anymore. But people don't wear aprons at home anymore.
My nan does. She's always got a pinny on.
Well, your nan's like old school, isn't it? And my nans, if they were still alive, would still be wearing the aprons. But,
yeah.
But nobody under the age of, let's call it 60, wears an apron anymore.
Apart from Mrs. Brown.
Who's Mrs. Brown?
Mrs. Brown off the telly.
Oh, not Mrs. Brown's Boys, Mrs. Brown the movie.
Yeah.
Do you know, I've never seen that, but I bet I would hate that programme. What's it about? It's about a man dressed as a woman, is it?
It's about a family, an Irish her family.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. Have a good day anyway.
Ta-ta. Terry Ranjit, I've been holding off to see if you'd hang up, but you're determined, so we'll come to you after a bit of this. 03453 009956. If anybody's ever been in a dumb waiter, you jump straight to the front of the queue.
Your word is mine, gon' tell you right. Just show your face, broad daylight. I'm telling you on how I feel. Gonna hurt your mind, don't you dare. Jump on, get on me. Watch your mouth. I know your game, what you're about.
Well, to celebrate, what are we saying? Celebrate. I don't know. We'll celebrate. Oh, I tell you what, in about 18 minutes, celebrating is the right word, isn't it? Because it's VE Day, the 70th anniversary there. Hey, Marcus, you know, for VE Day...
Yep.
Right, it's the 70th anniversary today. There's a great big thing going on outside the library in the city centre, and we're gonna have 2 minutes silence on the radio, which is always a weird phenomenon. But what they're doing across the country, right, and the Queen's starting this off in Windsor of all places. Loads of people are lighting giant V's.
All right.
For victory.
So they're sticking the V's up.
But basically, we're sticking the V's up to the Germans again. And it's all happening across the country. And I don't know where it's at. There must be some happening near here. And I don't know where they are. But they're all going to be like on hills, OK? And they're beacons. So the Queen's going to do the first one, I think. No, they're going to do one in Brighton, then it's going to go up to like Windsor, and the Queen's going to do one. Then it's going to go all across the country. And if you should be able to see these V's lighted up. No, hang on, what's the word? Lit up. I'm speaking like my 3-year-old. Yep. You're going to see the V's lit up.
The V's being stuck up all over the country.
The V's being stuck up all over the country like there was in the 1940s. Marcus, what you got for us?
I've been in... actually, I have to admonish you a little bit.
Oh, please do, mate.
Because you convinced me to bet on Manny Pacquiao.
Now.
Did you not?
Yes, I did, mate. Yeah, I did. The thing is, you do know that my dad is Floyd Mayweather.
Your dad is Floyd Mayweather.
Is that his name? I don't know.
Money Mayweather. Hold on a minute. What does your dad carry around in Holdall?
Well, he carries around money to bribe off people who want to have a go at him for hitting...
How much?
It's like $100,000, I think, isn't it?
No, $250,000.
Hey, he carries $250,000?
Yep.
Well, he may carry that around. What Pacquiao didn't tell anybody was he was carrying around a dodgy shoulder.
Well, exactly.
He had his shoulder. His shoulder was
they're
busted.
Taking him to court, aren't they?
They should do. So the tickets are like $250,000 a ticket, right? People paying a fortune to watch this boxing match on the telly, and the boxer had a busted shoulder. He couldn't fight.
And it's not just like a strain.
No, it was
He's got
completely
to have
gone.
surgery on it. How am I going to bet on a three-legged horse?
Yeah, well, this is the thing, guys. I think... Listen, Marcus, yeah, I understand. Yes, I did tell you to bet on that gentleman. But I'm afraid, Marcus, your beef is not with me. Your beef is with the boxing gentleman, and I think you're going to have to take him to the small claims court.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to take it up with him personally, am I?
Well, he's got a bad shoulder. What's he going to do? I'll punch you with the other arm. Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Anyway, I've been in a paternoster.
You've been in a what?
A paternoster.
Isn't that a branch of the mafia?
No.
Well, what is a paternoster?
It's like the human equivalent of the dumbwaiter.
You mean the dumbwaiter isn't the human equivalent of the dumbwaiter?
Well, I mean, I don't know whether I could fit in a dumbwaiter. I mean, I tried to reverse engineer one once, but that's a different story.
Wowzers. So, okay. So,
the paternoster,
yes.
Basically, you have compartments.
Yes.
And they're on a big chain.
Yes.
And they constantly rotate.
Yes.
So when I was working for Rolls-Royce in Derby, they had one in one of their buildings, and it's better than a lift because you just walk into the compartment, and then it takes you up.
No.
And they used to try and convince you that if you went over the top, you'd come down upside down.
What would happen if you did go over the top?
Nothing.
Okay. Does it have a door?
No.
No. This is like those foreign lifts in abroad, where they don't have doors.
But it's constantly moving.
No, mate. I'm not having that. That sounds disgusting and terrifying. Why would you want to do that?
I do it a bit. Well, I don't know. You get used to it.
It's a lift special to mark the resignation of 3 political leaders in one day. I believe that's a world record. We are celebrating the magic of lifts. Your lift story, please. 03453 009956. Thank you, Marcus.
Ed Doolan on a Sunday.
This Sunday is a VE Day special.
I had driven all through the East End, all through the Blitz, all through the bombing, without any lights.
Hear my archive interview with the Forces sweetheart Dame Vera Lynn.
It was wonderful to be able to switch those lights on and actually see where I was driving.
Plus lots of wartime music.
There'll be joy and there'll be laughter, and there'll be no morning after, for we'll all be drunk from months and months and months.
Ed Doolan on a Sunday.
This Sunday from 12 noon on BBC WM.
Nick's in Edgbaston. Good afternoon, Nick.
How's the best DJ in the land?
I don't know. Danny Kelly's gone home. No, we listen, guys. Sorry, I've broken my own rule there. Exactly.
Never mention Danny Kelly on your show again.
Thank you very much indeed. We're going to just to remind you, dear listeners, for those of you who aren't fans of me, we are going to have a minute's silence in about 13 minutes. 2 minutes silence in about 13 minutes time. So that's going to be the bit that peaks in the listening figures, Nick.
A good job too, as well.
Good job too. What you got for us, fella?
When we were growing up, and it's still there now.
Yes.
We had a dumbwaiter, and
you had a dumbwaiter.
Yeah, in the house.
In your house?
Yeah.
I didn't realise you were royalty.
Well, yeah.
Blimey.
Don't let the accent fool you.
No, well, it has. It has.
Anyway, my dad was a bright joker, and he said, get in there, he said, and I'll meet you at the bottom.
Oh,
he boarded it up, and he left us in there, 2 of us, me and my brother. And
for how many years?
Well, it was a fair while.
How long did he leave you? Your dad?
Well, we ended up having to kick our way out of it. He boarded the bottom up, and that was it. And my mum actually threw him out. Was going to divorce him over it. She threw him out.
What, because he nearly murdered his children? Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, she threw him out for a week. Yeah.
How old were you when your dad boarded you up into a dumbwaiter?
My brother would have been 10. I was 12.
Flipping it. Guys.
It nearly caused a divorce, yeah?
Yeah, well, I don't condone that sort of behaviour. Honestly, I don't. But more parents should board up their children in lifts and dumbwaiters. If that happened now, he'd go to prison, social services. You'd get a lifetime of therapy for free.
He would.
Yeah. Nick, thank you. Well, but Nick, did you travel in the dumbwaiter? Nick's gone. OK, the trauma of talking about that is just too much. Ranjit.
Hiya.
Yes, Ranjit.
How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you, Ranj.
Well, I'm glad there's been a 4th resignation today.
There's been a what, sorry?
Resignation.
OK.
Martin's resigned from the Ranjit fan club.
The Ranjit fan club is down to... Oh, hang on. Terry? Terry?
He's probably gone.
He's gone. I think Terry's gone, yeah.
Well, who started this Ranjit fan club? Was it Martin?
Yes, mate, and now it's closed down. Like you're Ranjit, you're the Nick Clegg of phone-ins.
Am I?
No one's bothered anymore, mate. It was fun for a while, and now no one's bothered.
Yeah. Anyway, talking about unusual inventions.
Yes.
The Betamax video. Have you ever watched a film on one of those?
I'd find it very. I don't like talking about Betamax, Ranjit.
Why?
Because I had one. And the number of serious beatings I got at school because we had Betamax.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's outrageous. I would get It's better quality, guys. It's much better quality than VHS.
And do you remember those, record player CDs things?
The record player CD things? Do you mean laser discs?
Yeah, the big ones.
Yes, I do.
Did you know anybody who had one of those?
My friend Colin Nelson had one. He also had a Philips 2000 video recorder where you could turn the tape over.
And did he used to get a kicking?
No, he didn't get a kicking. Everyone liked Colin. I got quite a few kickings at school.
Why did you get a few kickings?
Primarily because of the Betamax.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just like a funny guy, Ranj. Why would anyone want to...
No wonder I always put you on the ropes. That's kind of a beating through the radio.
Terry, what are you listening to?
I don't know. The telly's on, but it's on low. I'm not leaving.
Well, no, it's not on that low, mate. And why would you have the telly on when you're phoning up the radio?
Hang on, let me turn turn it off.
Flipping
But
heck.
anyway, is there any more people in the Ranjit fan club?
No, mate, the Ranjit fan club. You need to. Why don't you do the honourable thing and be the 5th person, Ranjit, to resign?
No, I reckon between now and 4 o'clock there'll be somebody else in the Ranjit fan
I
club.
reckon, Ranjit, there won't be. Terry, what do you want?
Well, I don't think I'd better say what I found up at that because he's on the line.
Oh, no, go on. Go on. If you want to diss Ranj, then please do, mate.
Yeah, I'm going to one Ranjit. I turned the radio off this morning when I realised Ranjit was on. I didn't want to listen to him droning on about politics.
Why not?
Because I think it was biased. There were 3 guys there. They were all business owners and they were obviously Tories.
Guys,
No, they weren't.
guys,
I was a Labour supporter.
Ranjit, Terry, Ranjit.
Yeah.
Shut up. Don't know. Don't care. I didn't listen to it. It was on somebody else's show.
Yeah.
This is the rule. You can't keep phoning up. I know you lot phone up Danny Kelly and slag me off, and that's fine. That's it. Don't phone me. Shut up. Don't phone me up to bang on about something that happened on somebody else's show. It's nothing to do with me.
Okay.
Well, I was talking about a Betamax video.
Thanks very much for calling. Loads of texts. I do apologise. I mean, I've not finished talking about the floating light bulb either. It's Eva. Sean says, what about the Soda Stream? Yeah, the Soda Stream was well, but you could, you get Soda Streams now. They've tried to make them hip. I'm sorry, unless it connects to the internet, I'm not interested. Why couldn't we just buy pop in the old day? Why was my mum and dad too tight? Oh, we'll save so much money. Well, why was my mum and dad too tight to buy pop? We're talking about dumb inventions, okay, because of this floating light bulb, which I've not told you about. That reminded me of the thing I was initially going to say. The capsule-based coffee maker. I think it's an espresso, is it? I don't know what that flashing blue light means. Does that mean there's a fire going? It stopped. Okay. Normally, when there's a light flashing, it means there's either a fire or somebody's died. Well, it stopped, so that means whatever the problem was, it's gone away. I think it's an espresso. Those capsule-based coffee things, they seem like a good idea, and then it turns out that they cost a fortune. It's like 30 pence a cup of coffee. And also, guys, it's destroying the planet. I'm not that bothered about the destroying the planet bit, but it's just... dumb inventions. The soda stream. Basically, you got some syrup, you mixed it with water and you blasted it with carbonated air. Cheap fizzy pop that doesn't even taste as good as a blooming Panda Pop. Iain, you are a naughty boy, says Helen. Thank you, Helen. There's Stephen. He's sending me a flirtatious text. Stephen, you're such a little charmer. So, just useless inventions. This invention is useless. I'm going to buy one. The hovering light bulb at last. 40 minutes after starting this story, I'm going to complete it. A boffin has invented... Of course it's a boffin. It's not going to be like a kid. Of course it's a boffin. A boffin has invented a levitating light bulb. With a 22-year lifespan. Simon Morris, 37, who we should all be holding aloft and calling him king, said his flight light draws power wirelessly. I don't understand how you can transmit electricity wirelessly. I never understood that. Plugs, I get. Like you get your hairdryer, you plug it in, you click the switch, it's all wires. Wireless electricity? When placed over the centre of the wooden base, opposing forces in magnets in the block and the bulb cause it to hover. So it's a magnet, but it's a light that floats. It's going to cost 260 quid, and it's going to spin. If you flick it, it spins around. Man alive, how cool would that be? Now, it's VE Day, 70 years today. The nation is remembering the occasion with 2 minutes of silence, so I think we can go live now to the Cenotaph.
Good afternoon from an overcast
Emily
and
Neer.
slightly drizzly London. Playing now is the band of the Welsh Guards, assisted by the buglers of the Royal Marines and trumpeters of the Royal Air Force. In a few moments' time, the chimes of Big Ben will ring out, and then on the stroke of 3 o'clock, guns will fire from the Tower of London and Wellington Barracks to mark the start of a 2-minute silence. After the silence, the last post will sound, and then a service of remembrance will begin. There'll be hymns and readings, and His Royal Highness the Duke of York will lay a wreath in honour of those who gave their lives during the Second World War. Winston Churchill's great-grandson, Randolph Churchill, will read the speech that the war leader made to the nation at exactly 3 o'clock on the 8th of May, 70 years ago.
We may allow ourselves a brief period of rejoicing. Today is Victory in Europe Day.
It was a poignant day, and the mixture of triumph and sadness echoes down the generations, acknowledging how the Allies' victory was both a time for celebration but also for reflection. Many had lost their lives during the war, and in May 1945 the fighting had only ended in Europe. Japan did not surrender until August that year, leaving many troops far from home, with some never to return. Well, a hush is about to fall over the assembled crowds as they wait for Big Ben to strike, and then for 2 minutes silence to commence. The last post. Well, in a moment, His Royal Highness the Duke of York will step forward to lay a wreath on behalf of the royal family. And then the Right Reverend Nigel Stock, Bishop to Her Majesty's Forces, will introduce the service of remembrance to commemorate the 70th anniversary of VE Day, giving thanks for all those who played their part in achieving victory in the Second World War. And then tonight, more than 200 beacons will be lit in commemoration of those who gave their lives. Her Majesty the Queen will light the first one at Windsor Castle.
And that's Emily Unia, who is live at the Cenotaph. 70 years, the 70th celebration of VE Day. 03453 009956. Let's get the latest news now. Here's Rob Mayer.
Good afternoon. David Cameron is back in Downing Street as Prime Minister after winning the general election. Speaking outside Number 10, Mr Cameron promised to lead a government for one nation which would make Great Britain greater.
I truly believe we're on the brink of something special in our country. We can make Britain a place where a good life is in reach for everyone who is willing to work and do the right thing. Our manifesto is a manifesto for working people. And as a majority government, we will be able to deliver all of it.
The Conservatives have secured a Commons majority for the first time since 1992. The Conservative MP for South Staffordshire, Gavin Williamson, retained his seat last night. He spoke to Caroline Martin on BBC WM earlier and says he was surprised at the Conservative majority.
While everyone campaigns and fights to try and win a majority, we always knew that it was a struggle. We knew we had to get 23 extra seats, but it was having to try and shift some people who had been in seats for a very long time, people like Ed Balls.
Harriet Harman has announced that she will be stepping down as Deputy Leader of the Labour Party once an election to replace Ed Miliband has taken place. She said a completely new leadership team was needed, as well as a constructive debate about the future direction of the party. Labour MP for West Bromwich East, Tom Watson, has said he'll consider standing for the Deputy Leadership, and he's told BBC WM why he thinks his party lost.
Yes, we challenge vested interests, but I'm not sure if we convince small businesses that we were on their side. There's 1.5 million small businesses in this country, and if we're going to be entrepreneurial, they are the future of productive capacity of the economy, and I think perhaps some of those people were a little confused with our messaging.
John Hemming, who lost his Liberal Democrat seat in Yardley, called for Nick Clegg, his party leader, to resign when speaking to BBC WM in the early hours of this morning. He spoke to us again after it happened.
Well, I'm pleased that he's done that, but he should have resigned about a year ago. But we could have changed the strategy.
Local election results are starting to come through. We've got reporters across the West Midlands. It's all done and dusted in Wolverhampton, where Labour have held the council, winning 2 extra seats. The leader of Wolverhampton City Council, Roger Lawrence, has spoken to BBC WM about the national picture.
If other parts of the country had performed for Labour the way we have been delivered here, we wouldn't be in the position we are now, with a government which is going to continue to cut Wolverhampton and other big cities mercilessly in their pursuit of an unfair and bitterly divided society.
The final political duty of Ed Miliband and Nick Clegg as leaders of their parties has been to join David Cameron in a ceremony at the Cenotaph in Whitehall, marking 70 years since the end of the Second World War. The event was marked here on BBC WM and around the country with 2 minutes silence. You can also keep up with the election results where you live on the local live section of our website. That's at bbc.co.uk/Birmingham. The weather getting wetter and windier as the day goes on. Will be cloudy overnight with drizzle, lows of 8 Celsius, 46 Fahrenheit. Saturday, cloudy with some persistent rain, highs of 15 Celsius, 59 Fahrenheit. And Sunday, largely dry and fine with some sunshine. That's your news for the West Midlands. It's 7 minutes past 3.
Friday afternoons with Iain Lee
On BBC WM 95.6.
Your voice in the West Midlands.
It's been a weird week, hasn't it, with the bank holiday? The whole week's been weird. The royal baby, the bank holiday, the election, a VE Day celebration. It's been a busy week, hasn't it? We'll give you any more election updates. I think it's just local council ones we need, isn't it? Yes, we'll give you any more of those as and when they happen throughout the day. 03453 009956. Stephen is in Sutton Coldfield. Good afternoon, Stephen.
Hello, Ian.
Oh, hello, Stephen.
Are you sure you had a soda stream?
What do you mean? Are you sure? Why would I? How could I be wrong?
Well, you said you put the concentrate into the bottle and you put the water in and then you made it fizzy.
Yes, mate.
But if you did that, I can categorically tell you that it came out the top of the bottle and it went everywhere. You had to fizz the water first.
Well, hang on a minute. So you fizzed the water and then you put the syrup in?
That's right.
Well, how?
And if you do it the other way, you knew about it.
Well, Stephen, how? Has anybody still got a soda stream? We need an experiment. Why would the thing is the syrup is just syrup? That's not going to make it explode.
Well, it was something. I'm not scientific by any stretch.
I guess that, Stephen. Yes, I picked up on that. Yes.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, what a horrible laugh.
Well, you're making me laugh.
I didn't make you laugh like an old dying man.
I am an old dying man. I've just pulled out 2 leather sofas to hoover behind them. It's killed me.
Pulled them out of what? Anyway.
Out of where they...
And you've made... Now I'm snorting. Oh, Stephen, let's just...
if you put the concentrate in first, I think the explanation I had as a child was it took up too much room, so there wasn't room for
Your
the gas.
parents were lying to you, Stephen. They didn't want to waste money. So by fizzing the water first, they could then put in a little bit of... You can't stir concentrate. Concentrate or concentrate?
Concentrate. Well, let me tell you,
you can't stir it in fizzy water, mate.
We got our soda stream from a boot sale. They wouldn't actually buy a soda stream.
Oh God,
and
a second-hand.
There was a bit of gas left in it, so we had this soda stream until the gas ran out. But I can tell you, if you put the concentrate in first, and then and it just went over the top.
First of all, okay, this is the second half of the show. Things you should never buy second-hand. And a pump that expresses compressed air. No. You've got no idea where that's been.
Well, absolutely. But then it was only 50p. You were also talking, Ian, about the hostess trolleys.
Yes.
Well, I worked in an electrical showroom many, many years ago, and you could still get them back in the 90s, and there was a choice of model and a choice of colour. And believe me, even if you didn't like the colour, you could even get one where you could paint your own.
What do you mean paint your own? What does that mean? Well, I know what it means, but why?
An unfinished wood veneer that you literally painted yourself.
Why would you want to paint a host? You're annoying me today. Why would you want?
Well, why would you want a hostess trolley full stop in?
But why would you? Okay, exactly. So why would you want a hostess trolley full stop? Right? But then why would you want a hostess trolley that you painted?
I don't know. It was in the catalogue. You could order it. It was about 900 quid.
I bet you can still get them now. I am tempted. And I did eye up the other day, and if I still drank, I would order one of these, and I would order one for all my friends. A Teasmade.
Oh, yes.
Because you can get modern ones now that are dead fancy. No, I want the proper old-fashioned Teasmade with the white pottery pots and the slightly unpleasant-tasting tea in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want. Did you sell those in your electrical shop, Stephen?
We did, but we only sold the modern version. We didn't sell the one that you're referring to. And what we used to do as well on Christmas Eve was put all these sorts of things on show, because we used to get a lot of men coming into the shop drunk who hadn't remembered to buy their wives presents.
You're totally wrong about the soda stream, mate. You are totally wrong about it.
Well, I can only tell you what happened in our house.
Yes, and what happened was wrong, Stephen. 03453 009956. I need They only used it until the air ran out. Flipping heck. The soda stream, you put the syrup into the water before you bubbled it. Bubbled it? Is that the... No, it's not bubbled.
Danny Kelly.
Beryl.
That does it. So
Beryl, are you there?
Beryl, hang on. Beryl.
Beryl.
Come on, Beryl, I want you. Come here, then.
Come on, Beryl. This is live radio, darling.
Good morning.
Now, have you got your piece of paper and your pen ready?
I have to, yes.
OK, well, Gary is going to read the number that your husband Brian needs to phone.
A new hero for mid-mornings.
03455.
No, just one of you, please. Brian, let Beryl do it. It's the Brian and Beryl show, everyone. What's Beryl doing you for lunch, Brian?
Chips
and mushy peas.
Fish and chips and mushy peas. You got to call them pays in the Black Country, otherwise they go mental at you.
Danny Kelly, weekdays from 9.
On BBC WM 95.6.
So it's the Queen that's lighting the first, not Flying V, that's a guitar, the first V, 9:30. This is for VE Day, OK? Windsor Great Park, the Queen with Prince Philip lights the first of a chain of 200 beacons across the UK. I'm assuming that there must be some happening around here. I don't know where. VE Day's odd, isn't it? Because, well, there's a big concert on tomorrow, right? By the way, if anyone's been to what was happening outside the library in Birmingham City Centre, do let me know. It looked cracking. I don't know what the weather's like now. It was starting to drizzle as I was leaving. And they were having like a proper old-fashioned street party. I love all that. There were tables set up for what looked like food. It looked like there was going to be food out there. There was bunting. There are also loads of what looked to be Hell's Angels. Are the Hell's Angels necessarily connected to the Royal British? I don't know. But so the VE Day, the BBC having like a big shindig on telly and on the radio tomorrow night. Well, Blue are performing there. I mean, Blue. I just. What's the connection? Right, the people who were around in the first VE Day, I would be very, very surprised if they're... Nobody's fans of Blue. Not even Blue's mums like Blue anymore. Why have you got Blue? They've got Catherine Jenkins, and she's good. Everyone likes Catherine Jenkins. No, let me rephrase that. Nobody hates Catherine Jenkins. Some people like Catherine Jenkins. Some people think she's all right. Nobody hates Catherine Jenkins. People hate Blue, you know. It's a strange lineup. Alfie Boe. Nobody hates... Is that how you say his name, Boe? Nobody hates Alfie Boe. People like Alfie Boe. People think Alfie Boe's all right. People are indifferent to Alfie Boe. No one hates him. They've also... They've also got Status Quo. Now, of course, the reason they're playing, because, of course, they opened the very first VE Day 70 years ago. That's why they're playing. Catherine Jenkins, Pixie Lott, who I don't really know a lot about Pixie Lott. No idea who Rebecca Ferguson is. And Dad's Army's Ian Lavender. If he comes... Who was he in Dad's Army? Was he Pike? I don't really remember. I don't really find Dad's Army that funny. If he comes out in character, then fair play, I'll give you that. But Blue, I don't... It's an odd one, isn't it? It's an odd one. 03453 009956 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. I'm hoping, now that the election is over... Yeah, it's over, guys. I'm hoping that the newspapers will stop printing these stories. They're getting smaller and smaller, but we've had one or two every week for the last 4 weeks. They're getting smaller, so they could be on their way out. And the only reason they're in there is because all newspapers have what used to be a filing cabinet. Hey, you know when you store files on a computer, why is the icon not a filing cabinet? That makes sense, doesn't it? Anyway, all newspapers have a filing cabinet full of ghost stories and supernatural stories. Let me tell you, they're all rubbish. This one is spectacularly rubbish. We've just been photobombed by a ghost. They are not the first day trippers to be photobombed while posing for a family snap. But Nurul Islam and his young niece and nephew may be the first to have their picture gate crashed by a ghost. No, they're not, because it happens every flipping week, you lazy journalists. Journalists, of course, in italics and quotation marks. The 37-year-old claims a supernatural figure popped up in the background of his photo of May Ralan, 11, and Rian, 7, even though there was no one there when he took it. And you look, and it's these two kids. They're always in a weird pose as well with these ghostly pictures. There's these two kids stood there in a weird pose, and at the back, well, there's someone walking up the stairs, right? His picture shows the apparition. I mean, guys, come on. We've just had one of the bloodiest elections of all time. And this is the best you can do? This? His picture shows the apparition apparently lurking in the gateway of a 200-year-old folly, good word, in Roundhay Park, Leeds. He said, "We got home, looked at the photos and saw this thing at the back that wasn't there before. My sister said, and here's the evidence, here's the only evidence they've got. My sister said, oh my God, it's a ghost." I mean, guys, there's no such thing as ghosts. There's no such thing as Kate Bush either.
Out on the winding, windy moors, we'd roll and fall in grief. You had a temper like my jealousy, too hard, too greedy. How could you leave me when I needed to possess you? I hated you, I loved you too. Bad dreams in the night. You told me I was going to lose the fight. Leave behind my walking through the high sea. It's me, I can't see, I come home, my so cold. Let me please. It's me, I can't see, I come home, my so cold. Let me Ooh, it gets dark
Afternoon, Iain Lee, BBC WM 95.6. How's your week going? Stuff that you should never buy second-hand. I don't think you should ever buy a Soda Stream second. Never buy second-hand shoes. Never buy a dead man's shoes, because they will be, won't they? Clothes second-hand, I don't have a problem with. A nice shirt, pair of trousers, I mean, yeah, I could do. I wouldn't buy a T-shirt second-hand. Jackets, yeah, sure, why not? I love it. Soda Stream, don't think so. Don't think. Cutlery, never. John, who's at work on a mower, I don't know, says, hey, Iain, I once knew a woman who bought an electric toothbrush from a car boot sale. My wife and I thought that was bad enough, and then she told us she washed the brush heads. We nearly threw up then. Stuff you should never buy second-hand. And it's car boot sale season, man. And I love a good car boot. I love a good car boot. An electric toothbrush? Really? 03453 009956. And gadgets, what don't make no point. Iain, do you remember the squarial that was supposed to be the equivalent to the Sky Dish? Yeah, I do. And it was obvious that the squarial was never going to catch on. Satellite dishes are round, right? And Sky Dishes, when they came out, they were massive, but they were round. All it was someone had just come up with the word squarial and worked backwards to make it. That's all that was. 03453 009956 is the telephone number. Last 30 minutes of the show. What should you never buy second-hand? Rubbish gadgets. I mean, and come on, guys. Nobody's buying ghost stories, are they?
Your travel news in the West Midlands.
BBC WM 95.6.
Let's get the travel news. Here's Phil.
Traffic is very slow moving on the southbound side of the M6. Delays start from junction 10A at the M54 down to junction 8 for the M5. Northbound on the M5 is also very slow from around junction 1 at West Brom heading towards the M6 as well. The Aston Expressway out of Birmingham, that's congested from Dartmouth Circus towards the M6 at junction 6 at Spaghetti Junction. And it's looking a little bit slow moving on the M42 on the southbound side around junction 5 for Solihull. If you can update us, call BBC WM 95.6 travel on 0330 123 3550.
On FM.
Freeview, digital radio
and online.
Your voice in the West Midlands.
BBC WM 95.6.
Hey guys, now is an excellent time to call 03453 009956. Let's get the news. Here's Rob Mayer.
Good afternoon. David Cameron says he'll govern Britain in the interests of all of its people after winning a majority in Parliament. The Conservatives took a surprise win with 331 seats to Labour's 232. The leader of the Labour Party, Ed Miliband, has resigned. His deputy, Harriet Harman, says she'll stand down when he's been replaced. West Bromwich East MP Tom Watson says he will consider standing for the deputy leadership. The Deputy Prime Minister in the outgoing coalition government, Nick Clegg, he's also resigned after his Liberal Democrat Party lost all but 8 seats. The Conservatives apart, the big winners of the poll were the pro-independent Scottish National Party, which swept to victory in all but 3 seats north of the border. The UK Independence Party and the Green Party took a single seat each. The UKIP leader Nigel Farage failed in his bid to win a seat. He has resigned as well. There are local election results to come in this afternoon. So far in the West Midlands, Wolverhampton has been held by Labour, who gained 2 seats. The final political duty of Ed Miliband and Nick Clegg as leaders of their parties has been to join David Cameron in a ceremony at the Cenotaph in Whitehall, marking 70 years since the end of the Second World War. The event was marked here on BBC WM and around the country with a 2-minute silence. You can keep up with the election results where you live on the local live section of our website. That's bbc.co.uk/Birmingham. The weather, it's just going to get wetter and windier as the day goes on. It'll be cloudy with drizzle overnight. Lows of 8 degrees Celsius, 46 degrees Fahrenheit. Saturday, cloudy with persistent rain. Highs of 15 Celsius, 69 Fahrenheit. Sunday, though, looking largely dry and fine with some sunshine. That's your news for the West Midlands. It's 3:31.
On FM, Freeview, digital radio and online.
BBC WM 95.6.
I don't know anybody that's a fan of Blue. Polly has texted in a joke. Don't normally do jokes, but Polly, I will. What's Blue and rubbish? Blue. They just got dropped from their record label because their last album sold something like 3,000 copies. And I suspect that... is it Duncan from Blue? I can't even remember. There's Duncan. Who's the nuts one? Em?
Hello?
Do you know the members of Blue?
No.
Oh. Are you going to be watching them tomorrow night on the VE celebrations?
No.
There's
No.
There's Duncan. There's Lee Ryan. Lee Ryan's the nuts one. And there's two others.
No, I haven't got a clue.
It don't matter. I don't think even they have. I think Duncan's forgotten the other two. What have you called in for?
Just to put you right about the Hells Angels.
Oh, yeah. Go on. This was at the VE celebrations in the city centre outside the library, yeah? Yeah,
they're not Hells Angels.
Go on, what are they?
They're the British Legion. They're the riders section of the British Legion.
So they are motorcyclists.
Yeah.
But they're not Hells Angels.
No, totally opposite.
I think from what I've heard, Emma, I'm not a Hells Angels expert. I've heard that the Hells Angels, apart from at 1969 at Ultimate, that they're quite friendly, gentle souls. But so what do these fellas do for the Royal British Legion then?
They're fundraisers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my husband's one as well.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Does he go riding off at great speeds then on his motorbike?
Oh no.
You don't allow that.
He's too old for that.
Well, no, Em, he tells you he doesn't go off at great speeds, but once he gets round that corner out of eyesight, you've got no idea what he's up to, who he's got riding in that sidecar.
Yeah. No, I'll believe him.
All right then. Well then,
he rides a Harley Davidson. They don't go that fast.
Do you get to ride with him? Do you go? Has he got a sidecar?
No, he hasn't got a sidecar now.
I'll get him to get a sidecar, Em, and take you on holiday.
No, it's okay. I'd rather go in the car.
Yes, and do you know what? I know exactly what you mean, and Em, you are very, very sensible. Patrick's on the line. Good afternoon, Patrick.
Hey, good afternoon.
What you got for us, boss?
Hot tub.
Oh, what?
Second-hand
Never buy a second-hand hot tub. You've not bought one, have you?
Oh, God, no. No, my dad's wife did. She thought it was a great bargain, 120 quid off eBay, and then she said, oh, why don't we all sit in it?
Oh. Yeah, can you disinfect it first?
I don't think she did.
Well, listen, we've got young ears listening, okay, but all kinds of mucky stuff happens in hot tubs.
Well, I was in the hot tub with my dad's wife, so...
What?
Nothing like that happens on my side.
Well, no, I'm not suggesting that you got copped off with your mother-in-law, but I'm just saying that the people before it might have done something in there.
It may have had some memories.
I have never understood the Was it indoors or outdoors?
It was outdoors in a pretty rough council estate in Liverpool.
The thing is, I think they are often, they're not, it's not millionaires that have them in their country mansions. It's proper people.
You can say it, go on.
Well, no, I'm going to listen. I grew up on a horrible council estate in Slough, but if I say something bad about council estates, people will think I'm being a snob, which I'm not. But although I've said something now, so people will think I'm being a snob. But I've never understood the hot tubs thing. Yeah, listen, if you're in the Bahamas, Patrick, if you're in the Seychelles or the Maldives, beautiful, bit of hot tub after supper, wonderful. But if you're in a council estate in Liverpool, or if you're in anywhere, why would you have one in your back garden?
Seriously, September in L23 is not a good place for a hot tub.
Patrick, thank you very much. Things you shouldn't buy second-hand. 03453 009956.
Just a little bit I remember times, my love, when we really had it on. You were always there to make me smile, help me when I fall. Ooh, I can't believe you're leaving me when there's so much more to say. just a little bit longer. Together we can make it. Our love is much too young to break it. Love me, please. Well, just a little bit harder. Never even try to see things my way. It's hard on a woman when love ain't no love at all. And when you walk away, you probably will. You're gonna be sorry. I'm begging you, please. Love me, please. Love just a little bit longer. Together we can make it. Our love is much too young to break it. Love me, please. Oh, just a little bit harder. Together we can make it. Our love is much too young to break it. Love me, please.
I hate to worry you guys. We're under attack. Who are we under attack from? Seagulls. There's no such thing as a seagull. They're just called gulls. There's no such bird as a seagull. No, it's just called gulls. Did you know that? Yeah. Where does there's no such thing as a seagull, so don't ask me where it comes from. What? But no, it's just gulls. Oh, okay. But they are attacking us, guys. We are all in big, big trouble. A Chihuahua, Bella, was it's horrible. Was pecked to death by a flock of seagulls. Not the band. Actually, gulls. Jeez. In someone's back garden. Oh, imagine that. Where's the dog? In the back garden. She's being quiet, and she's right. She's probably just asleep. Oh my God! Get the kids in. It's not the only attack. Jessica Miles, well done to The Sun for an excellent piece of original journalism here, letting us know just how dangerous these nasty creatures are. Jessica Miles, 24, was pecked and clawed in the face by a gull in Cheltenham, Gloucestershire last year. She said, I was terrified. I had my hands up to protect myself and I was screaming for my friend to help. How did she escape? He punched the seagull and we legged it. Man alive. Haven't we all wanted to punch an animal at some point? Haven't we? Really? Imagine. Your friend is being attacked by a gull. What do? You punch it. Quick! Leg it! David, ever punched an animal?
No.
You're supposed to punch a shark, aren't you? If a shark's biting you, you're supposed to punch it in the nose, and that gets rid of it. Now, and I've often laid awake at night, David, thinking, underwater, punches are in slow motion, aren't they? You're not going to get much power behind that punch.
No, definitely not.
Okay, what are you supposed to do if a crocodile attacks? It's for your own good, David, that we do this.
In the eye, is it that one?
Sorry?
Poke him in the eye.
Poke a crocodile in the eye. To do that, you've got to get past its massive mouth. You get
a pair of pliers and pull his teeth out.
You get a big stick and you put it upright in his mouth so he can't shut his jaw.
Right.
That's what you do.
I didn't watch Tarzan years ago.
I think for bears, you're supposed to climb up a tree. But then I saw a video of a bear climbing up a tree. So I'm going to leave that one up to you guys.
Yeah, you've done your money on that one, haven't you?
No, actually, I think for what animal is it you're supposed to stand still? If it comes charging towards you, you're supposed to stand still.
A bee or a wasp, innit?
I think it's a bee or a wasp. I know if a dog, and this is true, guys, if a dog, this is true and this is horrible, but if a dog, David, has clamped onto your arm with its jaw,
yeah,
what are you supposed to do?
Grab its...
Nope. That's don't grab it. That's going to make it angrier.
I can't remember.
Stick a finger up its bum. That is absolutely true. And I don't know who found that out. That was a real moment of desperation. But you stick your finger up its bum.
Yeah.
And it lets go. It's like a reflex, and it lets go. Great times, David. Thanks for calling.
Right.
Oh, go on.
Go on, soda streams.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The soda stream. Yes.
Stephen's right. You put the syrup in afterwards.
Why? The syrup isn't going to cause a chemical reaction that's going to make it blow up.
It's something to do with the syrup, but don't whatever you do as well. After you've carbonated the water.
Yeah. Made it fizzy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's not get too scientific, mate.
Don't shake the syrup and then put it in, because that makes it.
Well, hang on. What's in this syrup then? I just thought it was like sugar and colour.
I don't know. I've still got a soda stream.
The cola certainly didn't taste like Coke, though, did it?
I think one of the brands actually did produce a cola for it, I think.
Yeah, you could get a cola, but it tasted as much like Coca-Cola as cola cubes do. Or those little cola bottles you get in Haribo's.
Yeah. And the other useless invention's got to be the electric can opener.
Oh, mate, now...
What is the point?
Well, now, you said... Are you talking about the ones that are on the wall?
No, my mum and dad used to have the wind-up one on the wall.
Oh, yeah, no, the one on the wall was a wind-up one, wasn't it? It was affixed to the wall.
Stick the top of the can...
Yeah.
So it didn't fall off.
Yep.
And you just pulled the can down. You had to sort of hold the can.
Is this the way? My wife bought me this because I saw it on QVC and I loved it. And it is an electric can opener that does it itself. So you clip it on and then it goes all the way around, opening it itself. I used it twice and then thought, it's rubbish.
Yeah. And the other one is you're on about the electric carving knife.
Yes.
Doesn't Ramjet use one for his kebabs?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Friday afternoons with Iain Lee.
On BBC WM 95.6.
Your voice
thank you.
in the West Midlands.
Thank you, David. I'm just reminded that up until 1995, we only ever had those really rubbish tin openers. The rubbish ones where you kind of had to sort of really clamp it on and you'd miss and you'd hook it on and it wouldn't open and it wouldn't go. You know, they were like thin metal ones and you'd have to really clamp it on and you'd miss it and you'd miss bits in the end. You'd stab it with a knife to open it. And it was 1995, I think, that someone invented those easy ones. The ones you just put it on, put the tin up their arm, beautiful. Turn the handle, beautiful. No, it's not sharp. They were always sharp. People were always... There was a lot of blood in the 70s. People were always cutting their fingers on tins and tin openers, weren't they? 034... But tomorrow's phone-in, by the way, guys, is injuries sustained in the kitchen. 03453 00 9956 is the phone number. What are you supposed to do if a bear comes charging towards you, guys? Does anyone know? This could be important. Please. What I'm hoping is that in the next couple of weeks, someone phones me up and says, Iain, and I know you were joking when you did it, but you remember that phone-in you did about what to do if a bear comes charging towards you? I'm so glad you did that because it saved my life. This is lives we're talking about, guys. People's lives we're talking about, guys. Walkers in London's Hyde Park, back onto gulls. They're horrible creatures, really vicious, and you need to be on the lookout for them. Walkers in London's Hyde Park, they deserve it, were shocked last year by a rogue gull, and this is horrible, right? This is horrible. A rogue gull that was grabbing pigeons to drown them in the serpentine before eating them. That's cannibalism, man. Imagine that. It's bad enough when you've got your kids and two pigeons are having it away in the tree. Or two dogs are doing it in the street. Dogs don't do it in the street as often as they used to in the 70s. Of course, the great line, I think, Joe, again, you're listening, it's all about you today. I remember sunny periods on the weather forecast, but Joe, my sister, was it you where you saw two dogs as a child having sex and Mum said the other one's got a bad back and it's just pushing them or something? Or is that just like a general... I don't know. Anyway. The Royal Mail halted deliveries to a Cornish street in 2013 because its posties were being attacked by belligerent gulls. Oh, I mean, flipping heck. They're killers. Pensioner Wilfred Roby, aged 80, died of a heart attack after being attacked by gulls in his back garden as he cleaned near nests. These are just gulls. And finally, radio host Gary Robinson, no, me neither, was left with a broken nose and needing stitches last July after he fell while fleeing a swooping seagull in Dundee. Oh, hang on a second, this bloke just fell over. That's not a gull-based injury. I'm not letting you have that one. 03453 00 9956.
This Saturday.
Referee blows his whistle. Is it going to be Gardner or Brunt? De Gea crouched just ahead of his goal line. It's Chris Brunt to fire it in!
Live FM commentary of West Bromwich Albion.
You know, the lads were very resilient, really organised. We've worked very hard this week.
Join BBC WM for all the breaking team news and live action.
Saturday from 2 on BBC WM 95.6.
But a slow glowing dream that your fear seems to hide deep inside your mind. All alone I have cried silent tears full of pride in a world made of steel, made of stone. Where I hear the music, close my eyes, feel the rhythm, wrap around, take a hold of my heart. What a feeling, keeps believing. I can't have it all now, I'm dancing for my life. Take your passion and make it happen. Pictures come alive, you can dance right through your life. I hear the music, close my eyes, I am rhythm. In a flash, it takes hold of my heart. What a feeling, feels believing. I can't have it all now, I'm dancing for my life. Take your passion and make it happen. Pictures come alive, now I'm dancing through my life. What a feeling. What a feeling. Losing now, feels believing. Pictures come alive, you can dance right through your life. What a feeling. What a feeling. I can have it all. Have it
Well. Don't forget, guys. Don't forget. That back tomorrow morning between 10 and 2. They do this every now and then. This 10 and 2. Excuse me, 10 and 12. How dare you? They do this every now and then. Stupid degrees. Disney fantasy film Frozen. It's a good film. If you've not seen Frozen, then your soul is probably dead. Go and watch Frozen. It's brilliant. What did we? Oh, we watched another kids' film recently that was excellent. Oh, what was it? I can't remember. Disney fantasy film Frozen has made it onto the syllabus at a university. Now, it's kind of a misleading story, right? Because it's not like you do a degree in Frozen. It's a day. A day of lectures on Princess Elsa and Snowman Olaf, stars of the blockbuster kids cartoon, is to be held next week. The fairy tale's cultural impact will be debated at the University of East Anglia by dons heading to the Norwich campus from other unis. I don't see a problem. They're saying this as though it is crazy. This makes perfect sense. Aspects to be explored include its attitude to gender and what might link the movie to pro-anorexia websites. Yesterday, the faculty's Dr. Sarah Godfrey denied she was on thin ice, helping to organise what she described as the symposium. I don't see a problem with that. Why would you not want to discuss a huge cultural hit like that? Makes perfect sense, doesn't it? 5 other Mickey Mouse courses that you can do. Robin Hood studies at Nottingham University. Yeah. 12-week course on David Beckham. A 12-week course. Star Wars stuff. Oh, don't, because when's that new film out? Christmas? Oh, flipping heck. I'm bored of the new Star Wars film already. It doesn't come out till December. I mean, really? And in New Jersey, in America, politicising Beyonce. And also a Harry Potter module. I mean, people talk about Mickey Mouse degrees. I can't complain. I studied performing arts for 3 years. Flippin' heck. You talk about Mickey Mouse degrees. I did 6 essays over the 3 years and didn't sit any exams whatsoever. You know what I mean? Willis? tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Thank you very much.
Your travel news in the West Midlands.
BBC WM 95.6.
Here's the travel with Phil Peacock.
Still these delays on the southbound side of the M6 that start from junction 10A at the M54 down to junction 8 for the M5 because of roadworks. The northbound M5 is slow moving from junction 1 at West Brom towards the M6. That's also because of restrictions around the M6 turn. And it's busy in Bourneville on Hay Green Lane, which has been partially blocked by an accident near to Bourneville Lane. If you can update us, call BBC WM 95.6 travel on 0330 123 3550.
On FM
Freeview Digital Radio.
and online.
Your voice in the West Midlands.
BBC WM 95.6.
4 o'clock on BBC WM. A very good afternoon. Welcome to the show. We will be rounding up all of the local election results as we go through the show. Before we do anything else, though, let's get the main news with Rob Mayer.
Good afternoon. The final result is in for the general election, leaving the Conservatives with a clear majority in Parliament for the first time in a generation. David Cameron now leads a party of 331 MPs, 12 seats more than all the other parties combined. His three defeated rivals, Ed Miliband, Nick Clegg and Nigel Farage, are all standing down as their party leaders. The Prime Minister paid tribute outside Downing Street.
I've been proud to lead the first coalition government in 70 years, and I want to thank all those who worked so hard to make it a success, and in particular, on this day, Nick Clegg. Ed Miliband rang me this morning to wish me luck with the new government. It was a typically generous gesture from someone who is clearly in public service for all the right reasons.
The Scottish National Party almost swept the board in Scotland, winning 56 of 59 seats. The party's leader, Nicola Sturgeon, said the result was beyond her wildest dreams and the tectonic plates of Scottish politics had shifted. The Labour MP for Wolverhampton South East, Pat McFadden, retained his parliamentary seat. He's been giving us his reaction to Ed Miliband's resignation earlier on today.
If you have led the party to a lower total of seats than 2010, which was our second worst result since 1918. I'm afraid the writing's on the wall, and he understood that, and I think he's a good and decent man, but I think the announcement today was the right thing to do.
Local election results are starting to come through. We've got reporters right across the West Midlands. It's all done in Wolverhampton, where Labour have held the council, winning 2 extra seats. The Conservatives have tightened their grip on Solihull Council. Their majority's up from 7 to 13. The leader of Solihull Council is Bob Slay.
Well, I think we've got some very clear plans in Solihull. I think people understand what we're trying to do. We're trying to build a secure economy, create jobs, have